All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, and it's been a while since I did episode 5, and we're finally back with episode 6, Two Storms. This is my favorite episode. I'm really sorry that it took me so long to get to this. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Just a lot of work, a lot of just mental, just not being in the right place to make videos. And I was going to make it last night, but I was kind of agitated about things that had nothing to do with the video, the episode, and I didn't want to make it having that kind of baggage influence the review or the analysis of this episode, because it is my favorite one. So I just decided to go to sleep early last night. That's why it is 6:58 in the morning. So I was in bed at like 8 because I had given up on the day. And I wanted to wake up fresh. I watched this at 5 o'clock this morning, rewatched it, and prepared to get ready to review this. So anyway, if you are new to the channel, there is the 2-part review of this whole show that I did, mostly spoiler-free. The first part is spoiler-free. The second part is halfway spoiler-free. So if you want to watch that, if you want a broad spectrum look at it. Also, if you're new to the channel, I do tend to be brutally honest about things. I shouldn't say brutally honest. I try to be as honest as I can how I feel about the episodes. I tend to make a lot of things kind of a personal take on things and how I see it. So that is no different here. So let's just jump in. This will be full of spoilers. So episode 5 to me is, and this is about episode 6, but quickly to recap on episode 5. Episode 5 to me is the really scary horror movie, ghost movie episode. That gives you all the real, if that would have been the final episode, that would have satisfied all the people that just like their dark gloom and doom ending where the people just are fucked, then that's your episode. And that's why it's my second favorite episode, because it does have that just emotional gut punch of an ending where somebody just it's like fate has just decided that person is doomed. And this is on the other side of it, though, see, this being my favorite one, is the culmination of the first 5 episodes, all dealing with, the first one is Steve, Cheryl, Theo, Luke, and Nell. And now after that, this is the aftermath of those episodes where they're all coming together for the viewing of Nell's body before the funeral. And so the whole family's coming together, including Papa, including their father. It's just how everything kind of blows up. Everything that they've been holding back, all secrets and emotions all come, out here. And what I really love about this, and I said this, I think, in the first review of the whole series, was that I feel like this is like a play. This whole episode is kind of like a bottle episode where you get everybody in a room and there's everything revolving around that. And there is the same usual dolly shots where they go around people and things change. You see scary things and everything. But they do cool things too, where Timothy Hutton comes in and, it was the adults sitting there, they get them out of the room, they bring the kid actors in so that when they turn, you see the kids and they go around Timothy Hutton again, they get the kids out, they bring the adult actors back in. It's done so seamlessly. Nobody's out of breath or running or anything. It's just, if there were any cuts in there, it was seamless. But also in this, I love how they'll do they'll do the spin move, and you'll see some, either Carlo Gugino's dead, but the dead mother figure, or Nell's bent neck lady. I love how they just use those things in this. because they talk about, there's a line I think that Cheryl says about how there was 7 of us, but now there's only 5. But really, the 7 of them are there. They just can't see them, which is another theme in this that comes back at the end. With the whole, I was there the whole time, you just didn't see me. So even when they're apart, when they feel like they're apart, they are together. And I've said this again, this whole show is to me about family and not about ghosts. It's about what these ghosts did to this family and what this house did to this family and how they react to the situation. I feel like, the marketing and everything for it, to get people to watch it, it is there is a haunted house, there is ghosts, there are these things that are happening, but it's, again, to me, how a strong family can fight this. And it's just amazing. Like, it hasn't been really done before. If any, like a lot of these shows, it's, if anybody survives like an Amityville horror movie or whatever, like people are running from the house by the skin of their teeth kind of thing. In this, it's more like time to make a stand. But we're not at that point. Right now, we're at the lowest point, really. And that's everybody taking things out on each other at a funeral, at the viewing, anyway. And I just love how each person starts to break down. Also, what's really cool about this is another thing, like Theo is always on the outside, usually, of any situation in here. Or she'll, like if they're in the room, she'll usually be the furthest away. Or how she still keeps everybody at a distance and everything. When she falls, when they say, like you're drunk and she falls when trying to sit down, that was such a great, like the way that she pulled that off of slipping off the couch and hitting the wall was done so well. I mean, it felt like you weren't watching somebody acting. It felt like you watched somebody really, not try to do what she just did. Like it felt like it really just happened naturally, even though it was in the script. I loved that part. The whole thing with Truth, where Cheryl starts to take it out on Steve about Truth, and that buildup of her just going off and finding out that not only did Theo take the money, but that her husband did too. And that they were, like her feelings of profiting off of blood money. She keeps saying that over and over again. And I feel like, it's when like if you ever had somebody arguing with you and they don't know the whole story and you're sitting there waiting for them to stop talking so that you can lay down the knowledge on them that's going to devastate them. It's like heartbreaking almost, like you feel like, please stop talking so I can, because I have to tell you that right now you're about to get like gut punched even more because you don't know the whole story. And I do feel sorry for Cheryl in this, even though she's got her own secrets too. Where at this point now she feels betrayed by everybody, just about. I mean, Luke has taken money and not done well in rehab until recently. Nell now has committed suicide. Their mother committed suicide. She's, Steve's making money off of their tragedy. Theo took the money. Her husband took the money. She is just feeling completely cut off, which is usually what, she is now kind of feeling like everybody else is against her. And then when she finds Theo and her husband in the closet at the end, and we all know, like if you've seen it all now, you know that's, again, this is spoilers, it's everything's taken out of context. The guy who plays Steve, I don't have my thing that has everybody's actors' names on it. It's so great to see when somebody can play something so different. So like when you see him on Game of Thrones and he's this cocky, arrogant guy who gets to sleep with Daenerys Targaryen, and then you get to see him as just this guy. This, flawed guy who wanted to be a good brother and has not done such a great job after the fact. And just that you can see the little boy, the boy inside the man in this episode so much, especially like when he's talking to his dad, who was his idol growing up. And to see this man that, is talking to himself, or, as they think. I mean, he is, but, it's so great to see him, to be able to see that young boy inside him. You can almost literally see the kid. Also with Two Storms, you've got the storytelling where there's a storm going on at the viewing, and then they keep flashing to that storm at the Hill House when they were kids. I loved how when Timothy Hutton goes down the hallway to go towards the bathroom, and it just seamlessly cuts into the house. Now that was probably really easy to do if the set just had it connected and everything, but the way that they, on a technical aspect, on an actual building set standpoint, if it was connected, it was really easy, but it's smart the way that they did it, that's the way they did it. It was, okay, we're just gonna put this thing up here, move this wall so we don't have to do like some weird edit or cut. And again, like a play, they could just move right into the next set. And that's just really cool. But the whole thing with the Two Storms, where we get to hear from their mother that she does see things too. And that they're not here to hurt us. Well, okay, Mom, you're wrong. Boy, is she wrong. And I also like the image when they push Nellie away, and she's kind of getting pushed back into that room with the statues, and how she's kind of spinning. It reminds me of when she goes back to the house and she's dancing, and she's spinning, and she goes into that back room. I don't know if that was in the script to be similar, but it seemed pretty similar to me. And then she sees the bent neck lady again. And again, it's just, more prophetic things when they talk about how, how they found Nellie, and the neck thing, that she hung herself and she broke her neck. And hearing the word neck, it's like Luke's bing goes up, neck. Like, she's been saying bent neck. Like, it means, like, Luke pretty much, I feel like, gets it. That the bent neck lady, I mean, maybe he doesn't, but that's how I took it, is that he put two and two together. And knowing right then and there, I mean, he already kind of had an idea that she didn't kill herself, but as this episode goes on, he is, like, dead set that she didn't kill herself. The stuff with the dad and them trying to confront him, he still hasn't told them everything, even though you felt like this was going to be the episode, because he does go, hey, we're going to do this now. They don't get to it all, and it kind of bummed me out, but they have to kind of hold some mystery back still. Let's see, what else do we got here? The way that they deal with the buttons. I mean, and still in denial, like that Steve is that, none of us did this. I mean, they don't really bring everything up, and I love that they still are going to awkwardly fumble through this a little bit. That we're going to pretend that things aren't happening, even when Steve sees his mother there. Does he see her? Is it just in his head? I mean, I think she's there. I think she's there, but it's in such an emotional situation that you could say that your mind was playing tricks on you. But I'm sorry, if I were to suddenly turn right now, like I'm going to do, like go like this, okay, if I saw my mother standing there, that's not a trick of the mind. You know what I mean? She's really there. I don't feel like that's how it works. In a well-lit room, if you turn and somebody's standing there, and then you turn and you look away and they're not there anymore, something was there. You weren't just seeing things, okay? We don't just hallucinate. We don't just, even if you're drunk, you don't just, oh, there's a dog there, and nope, the dog's not there. I don't know. What else do we got here? the whole thing where Nellie was there, I brought this up earlier, that she was there the whole time, again, goes back to that the whole family may be apart, but they are still together thing. The whole part where the storm wasn't projected in the weather reports and that it's only affecting them, it again proves like that something is happening at that funeral viewing, just as it was back in the old days where the storm wasn't projected by the weather system. It's just hitting them in an emotional time. It is culminating here. The whole scene where Henry Thomas is looking for Nell and he keeps seeing his wife just like wandering around and then sees the glass explode on her. Should have been the first real clue that that's not her, that she's got somebody else inside her wandering around the house. And that kind of stuff kind of annoys me a little bit, because if there's clearly something going on, I don't know. It's horror, ghost story, movie tropes where, you know, sane people make these weird choices that they normally wouldn't make in real life. Like if you saw your wife over there and then suddenly she's there, you don't go, oh, well, no. If she teleported from one place to another, or is wearing different clothes, or you see a glass explode and then the glass hasn't exploded, yeah, it's time to get the hell out of the house, okay? And then you have to talk to your wife going, when did you become a teleporter? Oh, I don't know what you're talking. Oh, okay, that's it. We're going to the doctor right now. Okay, we're getting psych evaluation, and we're never going back to that house. And definitely get the kids out of there. And that's all I really have. I'm sure I'll remember something later, but this was so superbly acted. Puffalopes, I want to bring that up. I love that whole thing where they're talking about puffalopes. It's just really sad, and it did feel like a funeral, and you know, like a viewing. And being, you know, kind of not as close as I was, I'm not close with most of my family anymore. We're all kind of all over the place, and it's been a long time since a funeral brought any of us together. And that's how it kind of feels like with this family, and that's how I kind of feel about what's going on with my own family, is that we're not going to get together until somebody dies. And when that comes, I love that the awkwardness of this whole episode, where they're a family and they can barely talk to each other unless it's confrontational. And makes me worry about what's going to happen the next time I have to go to a funeral. So anyway, they did cover that really well. They did an excellent job at the awkwardness of being around people that you should be comfortable with and barely knowing what to say. So anyway, I hope I covered this enough. I gotta stop saying so. If you're saying that too much, it's time to get the video done with. So anyway, that's Two Storms. The whole thing where the coffin collapses at the end was really creepy, and I did not see that coming. But anyway, that's it for this. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Sorry about the awkwardness here at the end, because I am racking my brain trying to think of anything else to say. So if you guys have anything else to say, or something I missed, or just details that you want to add, go ahead and throw them down in the comments section. Otherwise, hopefully I will not take so long to get to episode 7. It is going to be another long day for me, so I don't know what I'm going to get to, but I will be at some point getting the Walking Dead review up after that comes out. And I might even be reviewing Overlord, which I am going to see at later on this afternoon. So we'll probably be getting to that too as well. But I don't think I'll be getting anything done before that, because I need to decompress and take a little time for myself after this long week. So I want to thank everybody for all the support, all the comments, negative or good. And that's it. So this is Robin Smirking Interview saying thanks for watching this video, and we will see you on the next one.